So for this lesson on the sociology of crime and deviance, looking at the role of the police force, to be more precise. Police is obviously a verb. Police is a noun, that police force. Public order, incidents, functionalists, socialisation, community, zero tolerance, bourgeoisie, proletariat. That should let you know Marxists have an opinion on this. So, everybody in sociology agrees the police play a certain role. It's basic social control. In a large, complicated nation, particularly in large cities, without a dedicated police service of some sort, you would have chaos. So police serve a basic social control. They traffic incidents, they patrol areas, they arrest, they investigate, they stop criminality. So that's fairly non-controversial within sociology. These things, everybody agrees, happen, need to happen, particularly in a large, complicated culture. Functionalists go further. They say the police service is entirely positive. The control that they offer, the social control, the visible presence, patrolling the streets, being armed in certain places, is an extremely important part of genuinely needed social control. Yeah? Helping us society to exist. Without the police, it wouldn't be able to exist. They also think they play a part in the socialisation process. That's why coppers go to schools, particularly primary schools, to help socialise little kids to understand what the police service do and seeing them as a positive thing. It inspires confidence in people that society will run properly by having a visible police service around. There's more than one way to run a police service. Some police services, some of the time at least, run what's called community policing. They try and join the community they are policing, be friendly with it, get to know it, be visible, talk to people. It's called community policing. It works particularly well in white working class areas because most coppers are themselves white working class, so they fit in with that community. It works less well amongst ethnic minority groups because most of the coppers tend to be white working class, or at least white, or disproportionately white. If they've got to police an area with lots of ethnic groups, it's very hard for them to feel part of the community. It's hard for the community to trust them. So it's a good way of doing it, but there are problems. Increasingly, many police services in our country, but definitely in the States, are going for what's called zero tolerance, where they come down hard on every little tiny thing. It started in New York in the 90s, the idea being, if you arrest this guy for dropping litter, chances are it's the same bloke the person who chucks litter out their car windows driving along is probably doing other bad things as well. So if you nick him, send him to prison for that, you're dealing a heavy blow to crime. Yeah? And you're being able too afraid to break the law and make sure you come down hard on them. In this instance, the police are very obviously an agent of social control. That's why you've seen very militarised police in the States. Zero tolerance, heavy-handed policing. Right, we talked about functionalists. Marxists, you won't be surprised to hear, take a different view. They see the police service in our country, in the UK, as merely the servants of the bourgeoisie. They're the bully boys. They're the hired thugs. Yeah? Police law enforcement is selective. The police service, the police forces patrol some areas, not others. They patrol the working class areas, not the middle class areas. They stop and search working class people, not middle class people. Yeah? And Mannheim, an American sociologist, pointed out that many of the laws that the police enforce are to do with private property. Private property laws were brought in to protect the bourgeoisie because they're the ones with private property. So the police's job, to a Marxist, is to protect the property of the bourgeoisie from the proletariat.